my god! What? What? A pure salary cap dump! That's it! Highway robbery, Mac Duchene my ass! The Dallas Stars have just gotten fleeced! Wheelin' and dealin', lots of moves, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry because this video is like 2 hours late. I was out and about doing other stuff, so now I'm here, I'm available, I'm able to talk about this trade, because we have a trade to announce between the Dallas Stars and the Seattle Kraken. It is forward Mason Marchment. Straight up being told that he is the odd man out, that he is not as important, and that he is not as valued, and that him and his contract are seen as a burden. Take a look at this right here before we go over the trade itself. Mason Marchment is 30 years old, 6'5", 212, left-handed, left wing center, making $4.5 million a year till the end of next season. This year in Dallas, Marchment scored 47 points in 62 games played. He had 53 points in 81 games last year. Now sure, you can say that Marchment, along with a whole bunch of other Dallas Stars, did not produce much in the postseason. He only had 5 points in 18 games over there. A lot of guys underperformed for Dallas in terms of playoff point production. It was only really Mikko Rantanen that exploded and was one of the top point producers in the playoffs, period. But Mason Marchment, alongside of Matt Duchene and Tyler Seguin, was a part of one of the hottest lines in hockey this year. Bar none. They were so strong together, so good, and with all the other offensive weapons that team boasts, the Rantanens, the Robertsons, the Hintzes, formerly the Stankovins and the Wyatt Johnstons, all the N's over there in Dallas, you had a really, really good core of forwards here. Marchment, as we had said, $4.5 million, 1 year left, 50-point guy, in 62 games played. You can round up, you can say he's a 55-point guy. And he just got traded to Seattle for a 3rd-round pick and a 4th? Bruh! Oh my gosh, a pure cap dump for the Seattle Kraken to feast on and use in their forward core as a brand new hot piece that just adds more depth to this lineup. The Kraken forward core was already in a pretty interesting spot with the young guys. We saw Beniers, of course, he's fine. Kaapo Kakko's looking better. Shane Wright's looking better. Eeli Tolvanen had another banging season. And then you have the surrounding older depth, the Chandler Stevensons, the Jordan Eberles, the Jaden Schwartzes, and now Mason Marchment is in the mix. Don't get me wrong, I understand that the Seattle Kraken didn't really have a great season last year, but with a name like Marchment, he could just be the extra scale that they need to maybe win an extra game or two and maybe swing things in the right direction for the rest of this forward core. I'm not saying that Mason Marchment is going to make the Seattle Kraken a cup contender, but he certainly does make them better. A lot better. And in fact, with the way that Marchment scores his goals, he's a big dude. He plays in front of the crease. He can score goals pretty nicely in tight, and he can also score from distance once in a while. If we give him the space, he can snipe it. This is a guy whose overall profile, if you get this player mentoring an Eeli Tolvanen or a Kaapo Kakko, I think there's a lot of potential there. Because ultimately, if a Tolvanen or a Kaapo Kakko becomes what Mason Marchment was in Dallas last year, maybe for Kakko's sake, you're not really all too happy about that because he was 2nd overall pick. But in a new organization where he's finally getting a new chance and a new role, there really is that potential to have a meaningful and productive career here if he gets that proper mentorship. Kaapo Kakko was, I think, already a first-line guy in Seattle to end off the season, so Mason Marchment, if you put him with Kakko, I actually do think there is some good, productive learning to be done here. And for the Dallas Stars, I mean, this is what they need, right? They ultimately trade away Mason Marchment for almost nothing, a 3rd and a 4th. It's kind of funny because on Frank Saravalli's Twitter, somebody was saying, oh, it's not a pure salary dump. Nah, they got picks back. And then Saravalli was like, a 3rd-round pick has an 11% chance of playing 100 NHL games. So not a pure salary dump. Okay, No one cares. No one cares. You're getting into semantics. We understand what it means here. It's a dump. It's a salary cap dump. It is not really much that the Dallas Stars are getting in return. Color me shocked if that 3rd and 4th round pick inevitably become players that play in the National Hockey League, but for Mason Marchment, this should be a shot of adrenaline in the arm. Knowing that you were the odd guy out, knowing that the team didn't care about you as much as they did about everybody else. Now maybe the point production, if you look at the list, okay, who did Mason Marchment score more points than or fewer points than? Okay, he was outscored by Ben, Hintz, Johnston, Robertson, Duchesne. All right, maybe it's fine that they prioritize them over him. That makes sense, honestly. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, he was very good. And there were already rumors that they were going to ship him out because they needed to free up that money. It's not Matt Dumba or Ilya Lyubushkin going over to Seattle. Nah, it's Mason Marchment here. And the Kraken, I think they're making out like bandits in this one. So I'm kind of sitting here thinking, as a Vancouver Canucks fan, I wanted, honestly, to see Mason Marchment head over to Vancouver. I thought that he would be a very good addition alongside of an Elias Pettersson-like asset. I think that sort of progression and that style would bode well with what Pettersson's able to bring. I think of Andrei Kuzmenko's net front season, where he was kind of just in and around the mouth of the goal the entire year, and he got 39 goals getting set up by Petey night in and night out, and I think Marchment has a similar sort of skill set there. Maybe not the pure hands and the dangles, but just the ability to get it done, to put the puck in the net, and to do what you need to do, sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed to get that goal to go in. And now that guy's going to be in Seattle, so yeah. Eli Tolvanen, Capo Caco, take your pick, man. This is going to be a really good mentorship opportunity for these two younger dudes. Not that, any of the other players that Seattle has are not opportunities to learn either. I'm not saying that Jordan Eberle's presence is completely useless in Seattle, but this is a really good ad for the Kraken, and Kraken fans are over the moon. 4th and a 3rd. Say what you want about dumb penalties in the playoffs, man, but this is a guy who will ultimately help you get there. So, Seattle fans, Dallas fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Mason Marchment trade? Marchment to Seattle for a 3rd and a 4th. That is, unfortunately, we can just go out there and say it, nothing. That's nothing. It's a 3rd and a 4th, bruh. The 3rd's in 2026. The Dallas Stars are not even going to use it until next season. So, Mason Marchment, sayonara, baby. This guy is gone from the Dallas organization. He is in Seattle. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on this trade over here. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.